Hey there, everyone. I just saw Monday Night Raw last night on Netflix, and there were a lot of things that happened. I needed to let my thoughts out on it, and I wanted to be able to do more regular content talking about WWE instead of only talking about the big major events like the Rumble or like Elimination Chamber WrestleMania. I want to start talking weekly about Monday Night Raw. I just feel like Seth Rollins is becoming very power hungry. And it just feels like ever since he won WrestleMania, something snapped inside him, and he thought, now that he got what he wanted, he was able to screw over Punk and Roman by taking Paul Heyman away from them and getting Paul to double cross the both of them. It just feels like he was a guy, like the best way I would describe Seth Rollins is he's almost like the Loki of the WWE, in that he wants to be loved and he wants to be well liked, but he can't stand that he's not the number one guy. And now that he's in a position where it looks like he's on the rise as far as the way he is in terms of power, it just feels like something is snapping into him. And it's crazy because there were lots of people that would say, you know, he's not a face, he's not a heel, but it's just, ever since that reveal when Braun Breaker came out and it was revealed they were partnering up together, when he showed up and he speared Punk and Roman last week, it just feels more and more that Seth is turning way more into the dark side. He's becoming more and more sinister. It goes on. And you know, I was a guy where, like I said before in my WrestleMania Night 1 review that I made with Candice, at the time, this is before the Raw after Mania, but I always felt like, you know, I don't hate Seth, but now it's getting to the point where he's, not gonna lie, he's starting to fucking piss me off. Like, especially the way how he treated Sami Zayn, the way that he just manipulates him, or attempts to manipulate him and just say, you're my friend, you're my brother, I've known you for so many years, I asked you for fatherhood advice and I greatly appreciated it. When he started saying all of that stuff, you could just tell, oh man, when's the other shoe gonna drop? And then I loved how immediately Sami said, what the hell's going on here? You're just recreating the bloodline. And the way that, this is why the Loki comparison keeps coming back, because the way that whenever Seth keeps getting called out like that, he just starts snapping, says, no, it's not, this is not the bloodline, even though it's like, you've got Paul Heyman right there on your side, and now you're treating Braun Breaker, bringing him on board like he's your enforcer, the same way Solo was before, or the same way that or Jacob Fatu was Solo's enforcer when we had that Bloodline Civil War storyline going on last year. But I'm a big Sami Zayn fan, and I just hated that he comes back from injury, and now, I don't know if this is real or if it's just part of the story, but the way that Braun Breaker speared him over and over and over and over again after, it sucks that, I don't know, and this is why WWE is great right now, because the best moments, in my opinion, are when you don't know, when they blur the lines between fiction and reality, because I don't know right now if Sami Zayn is legitimately injured or not after he just got injured from that giant battle he had with Kevin Owens at Elimination Chamber, that amazing hardcore street fight match. I believe that was called the street fight match. But anyways, I'm just, because I was a guy that was always amused by Seth Rollins, but now seeing him almost act like a mafia boss, I would say, as a wrestling fan watching the story, who is a fan of Roman Reigns, who is a fan of CM Punk, like, it's like the way he got out from, pulled the rug from underneath them by stealing Paul and turning more and more into, I guess traditional heel might not be the wrong word, but let's just say he's just becoming more and more evil the more he's gaining power in the hierarchy right now. And it's just going to be even more interesting when eventually, I'm really wanting to see this happen. I would love to see a tag team match between Seth and Braun, and then Roman and CM Punk. I think that would be pretty cool, because it feels like Roman is alone, Punk feels alone. I feel like the next step, as a person who's only been watching wrestling for 1 year, I feel like it would be cool to see Roman and Punk team up, just because they've teamed up before, but it was because Paul was bringing them together, but not during War Games. But it feels like this time around, it's going to be a lot more interesting to see the two of them choose to team up on their own. But anyway, that's just a thought I had. So, those are my thoughts on this new Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman storyline. But the other thing I want to talk about is what's going on with Becky Lynch, because I'm a person where where it's like, I don't know how to feel about it, because the only times I've seen the clips of Becky Lynch was when she was a face, and so I was so excited when she came back, because I've heard so many great things about Becky Lynch, and I've never really been able to watch her live, other than I missed out when she had that match between Liv Morgan for the Queen of the Ring at the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. I never saw it, so I didn't really get to see her wrestle live on TV until WrestleMania, when she came back. So when she came back, WrestleMania had that big pop. I was excited to say, okay, now I finally get to see what Becky Lynch is all about. And then that whole twist happened at the end, where Becky and Lyra were the only champions, were only tag team champions for 24 hours, and then seeing Becky get pissed off, then turn heel, then beat the living shit out of Lyra, doing I forget the name of that move, but that slam. And then this time she comes in here, she goes out, starts trashing the audience. Now, you guys can tell me, those of you who have been watching wrestling far longer than me, has Becky been a heel before, or is this the first time she's a heel and she's shitting on the audience? Because I don't know. I'm just, watching as I go along, because I'm really interested in this. But also, I find this new storyline, this new feud that's brewing between her and Lyra. Like, I've never seen Lyra Valkyria with this fire in her, where she's like, I was so concerned with wanting to be the next Becky Lynch, but now I'm already a better wrestler than you. And then seeing Becky get upset at that, and that moment when Lyra kicks her and then they start fighting, it's great. But then this is how I could see heel tendencies, the heel side of Becky come out, when she runs around the back, then goes to the front, and then pushes Lyra from behind. It's gonna be a very interesting match to watch. The match between the two Irish women. And it's funny because I'm actually wearing a goddamn Happy St. Patrick's Day shirt with Patrick. But I really also enjoyed seeing that match between I'm forgetting it. I also enjoyed that fight between Rhea Ripley and Roxanne Perez, and I like that, Rhea beat her, but then all of a sudden Julia started coming out to start to beat the shit out of Rhea. Then Io comes in with the assist at the end of the match, and I like that there's kind of like, I wouldn't call it a partnership, but just growing respect between Rhea and Io. I think that's pretty cool to see. And I also really enjoyed the match between the War Raiders and the Judgment Day, with JD McDonough coming back for the first time since he coming back from injury. And it just, and I loved how that Penta showed up at the last minute, and New Day was doing commentary, just talking shit the whole time. I thought that was very fun. So yeah, those are my overall thoughts on Monday Night Raw from last night. And yeah, I'm just continuing to love the WWE more and more. I'm a person that just loves wrestling now. I never thought I would have said that a year ago, but now I'm here and I'm just ready for the ride. And next week, as far as matches go for next week, I'm really looking forward to seeing the next John Cena and Randy Orton promo, the next time the two of them start going back and forth. I'm gonna love that, because as a new fan, watching the old clips between heel Randy and face Cena, now the roles are reversed. It's a lot of fun. So I'll see you next time.